Hi guys, my name's Elaine. Hey, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to my channel. If this is the first video you're seeing, you're in for a real treat. Definitely overselling myself there, but I absolutely love makeup, and I thought I would kind of introduce myself rather than like, hi, I'm Elaine, I'm from wherever, that we can go through. We can go through all of my makeup with no editing, and it'll kind of explain, I'm sure, by the medium of storytelling, who I am and what I'm all about. So the first thing isn't really a makeup product at all, but this was a Clear and Defend Daily Serum. When I looked in my makeup drawer, this reminded me of being like 13 or 14 and just being dreadfully spotty, putting on such strong acids on my skin. And I don't know if you were from the 90s as well, but there just weren't many options. Like, I remember I'd read things in magazines that said, get an oil-free foundation, and you're like, they don't exist. There was one from Neutrogena and it came in like one or two shades. And you're thinking, and they were both shades of sort of bean orange. There was nothing for sort of a pale girl from around the Peterborough area to be wearing. So my interest definitely stemmed from there. I went straight into like Clinique, loving just looking at the counter, like the little slider with a 3-step skincare process was like such a dream. Saving up my money and buying one of those soaps that again, like stripped your skin. And makeup, I used to like, is it Galan, like the little pearls, like bronzing pearls. The Body Shop, remember their makeup? It was so good, like looking at all the lipsticks and things. So I definitely just found this passion because there was a definite need for me. There was like, I need to cover up this skin, but all I've got is a Rimmel like twist up concealer that is like a crayon and is just highlighting it, if anything. So I remember just feeling like, oh gosh, there used to be this thing as well, which was like a custom, it was called Prescriptives, and it was like you could get your foundation matched for you by like a probably a computer that is less powerful than what we have at the moment in our hands and pockets. But it like analyze your skin, and I was desperate for it. I remember for maybe my 15th birthday begging for it. They've since closed down, and I never got it. And then color matching has obviously been done in different, the Boots number 7 counter. But I think that quest to always find the right thing has really driven me throughout my whole life. I'm an avid makeup hoarder, user, tester. When I said I wanted to start this channel, my husband was like, well, that's a lot of money to be wasting. And I'm like, bad news, I'm wasting it already. So might as well do it for a few people that might like to subscribe. So that was where I kind of came from. The next thing is a Revolution. This is a dip eyeliner, which is a nice eyeliner. There's nothing particular about it because I don't really, there you go, I don't really wear them anymore. But this reminded me of my kind of emo past when I got to 18 or 19. I went to university in Sheffield. I ended up dropping out. I didn't have the nicest time. And at one point in my life there, I was like living on my own in some flat. I didn't know anyone. I was seriously, seriously depressed. And I would go out to the rock club when a friend from home or something would come up and join me, and I would put this on and I'd wear my big stomping heels and I would jump around and have a great time. I would also wear like a red bandana. I would wear like no makeup on my lips, so it would definitely be all about concealer lips. And I just had a really good time. It was like when I had this on and I was going to those nightclubs and listening to the kind of music that I like, which doesn't match my voice. I know I look like I should listen to Mozart or something. Yeah, when I was listening to these bands, I was like, I feel like I found my place and I'm happy. And the eyeliner was definitely part of that. Then where are we moving on to? I think this is an Estee Lauder Futurist Skin Tint Serum, but this is to kind of denote the Estee Lauder double wear. If you're around then and that was like kind of your high-end foundation, and I fully adopted the high-end lifestyle. I worked in recruitment, so after I dropped out of university, I worked in recruitment and I saved up all my money to buy not only the Estee Lauder double wear foundation, but also the Dior Addict perfume, which now when I smell it is so strong. I must have been knocking people out. I must have been, and I was in my little recruitment job. I remember that song, like The Weekend by, is it Michael Gray? I can't wait for the weekend to begin. And in the video, they're all wearing their like office wear. And I was like, I am that girl. I had a Vauxhall Tigra, which was very like in a purpley, sporty color. And then I also, after that, dyed. I had a mini and I got my hair blonde and highlighted. I got rid of a boyfriend who was a complete toad. And I remember like this sort of thing where it makes me feel like that girl, the equivalent of girls at the moment who are probably wearing Rhode and, or maybe even Glossier coming into that. I felt like banging with my Estee Lauder. Which is so funny because it's sort of like a traditional brand, but for me, that was like grown up money. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of leveling up. So I love that sort of moment. After that, I've gone for this is MAC bronzing powder. There's nothing specific about the MAC bronzing powder. It's very nice, but this just reminded me of, I guess, like 2014, 15, 16. We're talking like Zoella era, Lily Pebbles, the Anna edit. So people that I used to absolutely love watching. Well, at this stage, I will have been engaged. So I will have got engaged to my husband. Because I know my wedding was 2015, so we're coming up for our 10-year anniversary, and everything I had was turquoise, like turquoise walls. I bought everything that these YouTubers, like I remember loving Tanya Burr and all of her lip glosses. I had a makeup bag from Zoella, and like MAC, I would remember watching these videos and being like, why is there no MAC near me? I think there was one in Meadowhall, Sheffield, because I was still living there at the time, but I didn't particularly go there all the time. And I think when I did go there, I was like, wow, I have no money, so I didn't tend to buy much. But I did buy, is it Woodwinked? I think there was like a eyeshadow pot from there that I really liked, and the strobe cream. I remember liking that. As I've got older and more money, I will definitely go to MAC whenever I go to London. So I work in marketing. I do freelance content writing, or I did before AI kind of stealthily took my job, but definitely marketing. So I'd go down for meetings, I'd meet up with clients, and I would always go to Mac at King's Cross, Pancras, as well as the John Lewis there. Fun fact, I was there as COVID was kind of like coming through, and I remember being like calling my husband Tom and being like, it was so weird, they wouldn't shake my hand. And then, but I'm definitely going to get this work, and I'm really looking forward to doing it like 3 times a week. And then, yeah, never heard from them again because the world sort of ended. But yeah, that definitely reminds me of that. Moving on to this is a palette. This is from Sephora, and it reminds me of my husband. So every time that he goes on a trip, you know that I'm looking for a Sephora there. I am looking for recommendations, and then I'm buying them. So part of my reason for having a channel is just like I love recommendations. So I want to know, like, if you go somewhere, like what is going to be really good, like what is it worth like spending your husband's money on, as it were. And I love sending him into places, and he actually like goes in and like hunts around. I got a call from Chanel. Well, he went to Taiwan for a week, and it was the Chanel lady in the airport who was showing her hand and saying, which one of these do you want? And I was like, the top one looks lovely, because I didn't say a shade. And this was from Rome when my son had chicken pox and my husband was out on a rugby jolly. And yeah, I sent him in and I said, get me a few things. And he got me one of these. And I was like, that's lovely. So it just reminds me of like my husband, really, and the trips that we've taken, the trips that he takes, and where our life's kind of going. And I'm so happy. I'm a mum as well. So I've got a boy who's 7. I'm one and done. I always wanted just one boy. So I'm absolutely thrilled. So yeah, it's funny, like makeup can evoke like nice memories of, people that don't wear makeup. Like it's nothing to do with them, but to me it is. And then only 2 more, don't worry. This is a Hourglass concealer. So this is very new, but this is one I got from my local Space NK. I was going to say Sephora, Space NK. And Space NK to me is very exciting. Like growing up near Peterborough, Cambridge, the Space NK in Cambridge. I remember being like quite small, but when I was going in, I was 15, 16, I definitely didn't have any money to buy anything and found it very intimidating. I've moved, so I moved down from Sheffield, back kind of down to where I used to live, more Midlands based. And the town, when I sort of went looking around it, had a Space NK. And I just remember thinking, oh, the staff are really nice. When you go in, they're very friendly, they're helpful, they're not pushy. And I always go in when I look like a dog's dinner. And I'm thinking, you don't know what I'm capable of. No, I'm not really. I'm not capable of anything. So I got this recently, and it just makes me think like, oh, nice that I've managed to build up my freelance business enough that I've got money for Hourglass. Like that's really cool. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I live somewhere that I really like and just enjoying it. Like, I don't know how long, well, obviously, like, my child is growing up, and he hasn't done any of the kiddie stuff here in terms of like baby groups and things. So it's just a little section of time. And I don't know if we'll stay here forever. I certainly really like it, but we will see. So, yeah, that makes me quite happy. And the final item is a reduced clearance mattifying powder, pressed powder, number 8 from Studio. And you'll notice it's got a clearance sticker. So this is from my local Superdrug, who have an amazing clearance rail, and I am constantly there. My husband's best friend from school, like from age 4, passed away last year, nearly coming up to a year, Nick, and he was the most amazing guy and was just so kind, generous. Like, everyone loved him. Like, when I look back through his social media, which is like as it was, everything he did was for charity or helping other people. He was a complete laugh, big gentle giant, such a big guy in like every sense. I would go crazy because he would come here for a night out and then he just wouldn't leave the sofa in the morning. He'd be lying watching Police Interceptors while I'm like hoovering underneath him, like, should you be getting home, Nick? Oh, no, no, oh, what are you doing for dinner? So yeah, when he passed, I decided that I would have a mental breakdown. I drank a lot. I just started having panic attacks. I couldn't go on a plane. And then that spread to like not being able to go on a plane. Sorry, not on a plane. And then I couldn't go on a train. And then I couldn't go in a car. And I was just in a real pickle, like panic attacks all through the day, every day. I've had health anxiety for many years anyway, but it had properly ramped up and I just wasn't taking care of myself. Number one, I got a walking pad and like I just started walking like in this is my office space, trudging about and just doing what I could. And that sort of helped get me moving. I used the Fitness Marshall and Grow with Joe videos as well to also move. And then I thought of running. One day I just went out and started running and it's absolutely life changing. So I'm telling you all this because I now run down to Superdrug. So I wear a little running vest and I go and run down and I look at the reduced section and I put it all in my backpack and I run back. So it's probably about 6.5 kilometers. But last year I wouldn't have been doing that. I think a combo of these happy things like doing stuff myself, stopping the drinking. I saw a hypnotherapist for my phobias as well, who I can tell you about in another video, were really helpful. And I'm looking at some medals which are up there. So I've got a half marathon, a 10K, a 15K, and another 10K medal. And I've balloted for the London Marathon, which I will run in aid of. I'm hoping I've balloted for the ballot and I've balloted for the cancer charity Clatterbridge, where Nick was being seen and cared for. So that's kind of me. I hope that I've done it. I hope this is recording. This is all very new to me, so I hope you do subscribe. I hope you like it. I'm definitely waffly. I'm definitely older than the average YouTuber, but I hope maybe you could potter about your house and see what I've been doing. So I've got my clicker now, so I'm going to turn you off. But thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.